Hey, what's going on, everybody? So of course we know that Zack Snyder's Justice League will be released on HBO Max next year. Hopefully it doesn't get pushed back with all of the delays from the COVID-19 situation. But yeah, amazing news, right? If you haven't seen my video about my reaction, my response to that news, go ahead and watch that one on my channel. But sometimes now there are more Henry Cavill rumors going around. Not necessarily rumors, but stories. Um, Not too long before the Man of Steel watch party, where we got the Zack Snyder Justice League HBO Max announcement, there were stories floating around that Warner Brothers was going to put a Supergirl movie on hold while they focused on Superman. Henry Cavill coming back as Superman again. So that got me excited because we haven't had Superman rumors or stories or anything in like a really long time. We'd always see like stuff about other movies that are going to be in production, and everyone would be like, well, what about like another Man of Steel movie or another Superman solo movie? Technically, BVS was a sequel to Man of Steel story-wise, but as far as like another Superman movie, we haven't heard anything about that in years. And then of course there were rumors about Henry Cavill being is he going to be replaced? Is he leaving the role? Blah 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 blah. I never really, if you've watched my videos, you know that I never really gave credence to those rumors, just because I feel like so much of that stuff came just from all the drama that was going on with Justice League and everything, all the backlash and all the stuff from BVS and how all of that. So anyway, now we finally have positive stories about when that Superman thing came out right before the announcement of Zack Snyder's Justice League. I think that has more weight to it because all of this is kind of happening at the same time. And like I said, we haven't heard anything about Superman in a very long time. So now this new story coming from comicbook.com is saying instead of Warner Brothers focusing on a new Man of Steel movie or a new Superman solo movie, that Henry Cavill will again reprise his role as Superman in future projects for Warner Brothers Pictures as Clark Kent, though for now a sequel to Man of Steel is not currently in the works. Instead, it sounds like Cavill Superman will operate in a similar capacity to Marvel's use of Nick Fury and the Hulk, appearing in films for a supporting role or even smaller cameos. The future of Cavill's Superman has not yet been fully decided, and it sounds like Warner Brothers and DC are still figuring out where the comic best fits in upcoming films. So I don't really know what to make of that. I mean, on one hand, it also says around the time that reports of Cavill's exit surfaced, there were also reports that Warner Brothers was working on a Supergirl movie. A report earlier this month suggested that Warner Brothers reversed course on the idea, shifting its focus back to Superman. We all know that Henry Cavill still wants to be Superman. That's been obvious for a long time. Even when people were giving him a hard time for not saying anything about release the Snyder Cut and all of that back in November, I was trying to encourage people like not to give him a hard time about that because I felt like his role in the DCEU was so much more sensitive compared to the other roles and stuff like that. So I always knew that he was always very careful about what he would say regarding Justice League and Superman and stuff like that. And it seemed like it's because he knows more about what's going on than we do. So he'd have to be more careful about what he said. And then when he joined the watch party at the end, he was definitely more open about it. And I think now that these stories are coming out about a new deal in the works, stuff like that, it can be more out in the open. Obviously, he couldn't say anything while things were being discussed. But I'm not sure how to feel about them just wanting to use him as a supporting role in cameos and stuff like that. I mean, On one hand, it's cool because you would get to see him a lot more than in just, you know, like Superman or team up movies. You get to see him more, but at the same time, it's like, why wouldn't they want to focus on another Superman solo movie? Like, I think now that they know how much the demand is there, why not? Like, just because BVS was considered a sequel to Man of Steel, that doesn't mean that they shouldn't make another Superman movie. Like, they're getting another Shazam movie, and it didn't do that great. I mean, I liked it, but it didn't do that great in terms of, like, box office and stuff like that. I'm sure they wish it probably would have done better, but they're doing a Shazam 2, they're doing Aquaman 2. We were supposed to get Wonder Woman 2, like, this coming week, but obviously that got pushed back. So I don't really know why they wouldn't want to do another Superman. I mean, again, this might not be 100% accurate. You know, stuff is not always 100% accurate when these stories come out. But if there is some truth to the fact that they want to use him more as like supporting and cameos and stuff like that, yes, there's plenty of movies that it would make sense. And I'm glad that they're kind of like putting their focus back on him and maybe waiting till a later time to do Supergirl, because they should do that. They started their whole, you know, movie universe with Superman, so there should be focus on him. But I definitely hope that, yes, I do want to see him in other movies. It would be really cool to see him in Shazam and the Black Adam movie, and wherever else they think it makes sense to put him. But I still would love to see another Superman solo movie, and I definitely want another Superman solo movie because I love Man of Steel. I always have, and I definitely want to see him, you know, have his own, another movie of his own. And it's just been so cool to see him talking about Superman again ever since the announcement came out. It's been cool to see all of that, you know, everyone talking about Zack Snyder's Justice League, and, you know, AT&T promoting it a lot on HBO Max, and seeing, you know, Ben Affleck and Ray Fisher and all these cast members so excited about it. But like Henry, it's been so long since we've seen Henry Cavill talk about Superman in any capacity, like as far as being upfront about Justice League and stuff like that. And so it's really awesome to see him posting pictures again, and just, it was so awesome to see them announce it together. But we'll see what comes of this new Superman stuff. I'm sure it'll be developing over time as more stuff comes out, but still cool to see more stuff coming out about Henry Cavill as Superman. So let me know what you guys think. Thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe. See you next time.